Let me tell you something that most people overlook. It's about color. Not just the kind you see on a canvas or in the petals of a blooming flower, but the kind that lives in the clothes you wear. The kind that can shift the entire energy of a room when you walk in. And I'm speaking directly to the women who are over 60. You who have lived, loved, lost, and kept going. Women who know who they are. There's a secret not enough people talk about, but I will tell you. Certain colors do something extraordinary. They don't just enhance your look, they speak. And when chosen with care, they make men notice. Instantly, even before you've said a single word. Now I want you to imagine this. You walk into a cafe. The air carries the soft hum of conversation and the scent of roasted coffee beans. There are younger women scattered around the room, some wearing black, some beige, some in those dull grays that seem to drain the life from a face. And then there is you, wearing a deep red. Not just any red, I'm talking about a rich, true red. The color of ripened cherries or a glass of aged wine. It has warmth, it has power, and without saying a word, it draws the eye. Men look up, not because you are wearing something outrageous or loud, but because the color calls to something in them. It awakens a part of the brain tied to attraction and attention. There is research to support this. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology by Elliott and Nayesta in 2008 demonstrated that men are more likely to find women attractive when they are shown wearing red. The participants were shown pictures of women wearing different colors. Red consistently outperformed all others when it came to male attraction. What's even more fascinating is that the effect was unconscious. Men could not explain why they felt more drawn to the women in red. They just were. It's biological, evolutionary. Red signals vitality, energy. And for the mature woman, it signals something even more profound: confidence. You see, when a woman over 60 wears red, she's not just choosing a color, she's making a statement. She is saying, I am still here. I am still alive in every sense of the word. And that's a powerful thing. It's not about trying to look younger. It's about owning the beauty that comes with age and refusing to fade into the background. That kind of energy is magnetic. Men notice it. They feel it before they even register what it is. It draws them like moths to a flame. But red isn't the only color that does this. There is another, one that holds a quieter power. Cobalt blue. Not navy, not pastel, but the deep, electric kind of blue that sits somewhere between the sky just after sunset and the ocean when a storm is rolling in. This color doesn't shout, it whispers with confidence. Cobalt blue is a shade that brings out the depth in the eyes, the warmth in the skin, and the grace in silver or salt and pepper hair. There is a study from the University of British Columbia which found that people associate blue with trust and intelligence. When a woman wears cobalt, she doesn't just look beautiful. She looks like someone with stories worth listening to. Men notice that too, especially those who are mature enough to value depth over dazzle. Think of a color as a frequency. Each one sends out a signal. Red vibrates with energy and desire. Cobalt speaks with calm strength. But there's one more I must tell you about. This one is a little more surprising. It's emerald green. Yes, green. When you wear emerald, you are inviting nature to speak through you. This shade breathes life into your presence. It reflects health and renewal. And for women over 60, that message is powerful. It says, I am still growing. I am still discovering. There's something about green that speaks to the eyes in a way that feels like relief, like shade on a hot day, like something fresh and real. A study conducted by psychologists at the University of Amsterdam found that green enhances creative thinking and emotional stability. So imagine the kind of calm, attractive energy you give off in emerald. It's not flashy, but it stays with people. Now let me be very clear. When I talk about wearing color, I'm not telling you to dress like someone you're not. I'm not suggesting that you toss out your closet and become a different person overnight. What I'm saying is that the right color can amplify who you already are. It doesn't hide you. It reveals you. It highlights the sparkle in your eye, the softness in your expression, and the stories etched into the lines of your face. You might be wondering, but does this really work at my age? Let me answer that with something I have seen time and time again. A woman in her 60s or 70s who walks into a room with posture, purpose, and a well-chosen color can turn more heads than a woman half her age in the trendiest outfit. Why? Because there's something about maturity paired with self-assurance that is electric. Youth might catch the eye, but confidence holds it. And nothing broadcasts confidence more effectively than color. Now let me tell you something that will stay with you. Every time you choose to wear a powerful color, you are sending a signal. You are saying, I am not invisible. That matters, because as women age, society often tries to dim their light. But you don't have to accept that. Not for a single moment. The right colors allow you to shine, to step forward instead of shrinking back. And when you do, men notice. Not just any men, the kind who value presence, who are drawn to depth and beauty seasoned by time. There's a reason women like Helen Mirren and Meryl Streep wear these colors on red carpets. It's not by accident. They understand what color does. It enhances without needing explanation. It expresses vitality without needing words. And yes, men notice. Not because these women are trying to look young, but because they look alive. Now, I want to talk to the woman who is reading this with a small voice inside her that says, maybe I'm too late. Maybe color won't make a difference anymore. To that, I say no. It is never too late to be seen. It is never too late to be felt. I've sat across from too many women in my years as a doctor, and I can tell you with complete certainty, when you feel invisible, it affects everything. Your mood, your health, your outlook. But when you put on a color that lights up your face, something shifts. You see it in the mirror. You feel it in your step, and others feel it too. So how do you start? You begin with one item, one scarf in that perfect red, one blouse in cobalt blue, one dress in emerald green. You wear it to the market, to brunch, to that art show you almost didn't go to, and you watch. You watch how people look at you. You watch how the world reacts. More importantly, you feel how you change. And when that happens, you'll understand. It was never about just fashion. It was about claiming space. Your space, in a world that needs to see women like you, strong, wise, radiant. And let me offer one last truth. The color that makes men notice older women instantly is the one that lights you up from the inside. That's the secret. It's not about tricking anyone. It's about revealing what's already there. When you wear a color that makes you feel vibrant, men see you differently because you are showing up differently. You carry yourself with an ease that's magnetic, a light that doesn't ask for permission to shine. You have nothing to prove, but you have everything to express. Let color help you do that. Let red speak your boldness. Let blue hold your strength. Let green celebrate your renewal. And walk forward with the quiet power of someone who knows she has nothing to hide. The world will notice. Men will notice. But most importantly, you will notice. And that is the beginning of something beautiful. Why do so many women over 60 settle for neutral when they deserve radiance? Let me ask you something that might seem simple, but carries more weight than most people realize. Why do so many women over 60 settle for neutral colors when they deserve radiance? I have thought about this question for years. As a doctor who has listened to hundreds of women over the course of a lifetime, I can tell you this isn't just about fashion. It's not about what's in style or what's on sale. This is about something much deeper, something personal. It's about the messages women have received, often quietly and subtly, that tell them their time in the spotlight is over, that they must become quiet in their choices, safe, faded into the background. You see, somewhere around midlife, many women begin to feel invisible, not just socially, but visually. There's a slow shift. Compliments grow fewer. Salespeople stop offering bold suggestions. Magazines start showing fewer women who look like them. And without realizing it, a woman who once wore color like it was her second language begins reaching for beige, for gray, for black. These are colors that feel safe. They don't draw too much attention. They don't make a statement. They are what society subtly tells older women they are supposed to wear. The thinking goes, if I don't stand out, I won't be judged. If I stay neutral, I can't get it wrong. But what if I told you that this very choice, this quiet surrender to neutrality, is part of what makes a woman feel less alive, less visible. Studies have shown that color has a profound impact on mood, perception, and even energy levels. In 2009, researchers at Vrije Universiteit in the Netherlands found that exposure to vibrant colors, particularly warm tones like red and orange, had a direct effect on emotional state. Participants reported feeling more energetic, confident, and optimistic. The same cannot be said for gray and beige. In fact, a study published in Color Research and Application in 2016 concluded that gray was most often associated with passivity and depression, especially in older populations. So why do so many older women default to it? The answer is painful in its simplicity, because they've been made to believe that aging means stepping back, that visibility is a privilege reserved for youth, that wearing bright colors is inappropriate, too loud, or even desperate. I have heard this in whispered voices from my patients. I used to wear red, they say, but now I just feel silly in it. Or, my daughter told me I look better in something more subtle. I've seen the way their eyes dim when they say this, and I want to grab their hands and say no. You don't have to disappear. Color is not just decoration, it is expression. And after 60 years of living, loving, building, nurturing, and enduring, you have earned the right to express yourself fully. Radiance is not something that belongs to the young. It belongs to the brave. And choosing to wear colors that reflect joy, strength, and vitality is not vanity. It is self-respect. It is a refusal to be erased. There is also something powerful that happens when an older woman reclaims color. The effect is not only on her mood, but on how others respond to her. A study out of the University of Rochester in 2008 showed that participants, both men and women, rated people dressed in vivid colors as more confident and capable than those in neutrals. The study also found that red, in particular, triggered increased attention and even admiration. But it's not just red. Colors like cobalt blue, emerald green, and even soft lavender all activate areas in the brain tied to memory, alertness, and emotion. That means when you wear radiance, people don't just see you, they remember you. I once had a patient in her late 60s who had stopped wearing anything other than gray and taupe after her husband passed away. She told me she didn't feel seen anymore. So what was the point? We talked a lot about grief, yes, but also about life, about how sometimes choosing to put on something vibrant can be a small act of rebellion against sorrow. She began slowly with a turquoise scarf, then a deep burgundy coat. One day she came in wearing a sunflower yellow blouse. Her posture was different. Her energy was different. She looked at me and said, "I forgot what it felt like to be looked at with curiosity instead of pity." That is the power of radiance. It is not about changing how old you are. It is about changing how alive you feel inside that age. There's another layer to this. When older women choose color, they become role models. Younger women see them and think, maybe I don't have to fade with age. Daughters and granddaughters notice. Strangers notice. And slowly the narrative shifts. We begin to redefine what aging looks like. Not as something that strips beauty away, but as something that adds depth and brilliance to it. So if you are a woman over 60 and you have found yourself reaching again and again for those neutral tones, I ask you to pause. Ask yourself if you are choosing them because they make you feel powerful or because you're afraid of standing out. Because if it's fear, let me remind you of something. You've already lived through too much to let fear run your wardrobe. You've earned the right to feel radiant, to walk into a room and know that the colors you wear are speaking truth about who you are. Start small if you need to. One bright lipstick, one colorful earring, one blouse that brings out the tone in your eyes. Watch how it changes you. Watch how it changes the way others look at you. And more importantly, how you begin to see yourself. This is not about becoming someone new. It's about returning to yourself, to the part of you that never stopped being bold, beautiful, and alive. She is still in there. And sometimes all it takes is a little color to bring her back into the light. You don't have to settle for neutral. You never did. You deserve radiance every single day,